When I was first trying to get into data science and machine learning field, I used to think that just learning Python would be sufficient. I used to think that if I have the Python skill, then I can go and do the data science job. But I was wrong, okay? So there are 3 most important skills that you really need to work on before you even start applying for a data science job, okay? So what are those 3 top important skills? I'll give you an answer in just a moment. Hey, thanks for watching. My name is Chris. So if you need more advice or if you need one-on-one mentorship, then please subscribe my channel, or you can also be me on LinkedIn, direct message me, whatever works for you, okay? So what are the top 3 important skills that you need to start applying for a data science job? So here's number 1. Number 1 is SQL, okay? So you have to have the SQL knowledge. So without SQL, there is no data, and without data, there is no data science, okay? So when I was first applying for a job, I failed that interview because I didn't focus on learning SQL, okay? So SQL is super important, so learn SQL. And what is number 2? So number 2, I already gave you the answer, which is Python. And definitely Python is the top used programming language to do a data science. There are other programming languages like SAS, R, and Scala, but up to this point, Python is the number 1. So because it's open source and it has lots of cool library that you can do anything, basically anything with Python, okay? So Python is number 2. So what is number 3? So number 3 and the most important of all these 3, okay? And that is presentations and communications. It is super important and super critical, okay? So you have to learn this skill to sell. So if you can't sell, you can't even find a job, okay? So when you're going to face that interview, you're basically trying to sell your skill to the hiring manager, which requires a lot of confidence and a lot of communication skill. Hiring manager will ask you questions like, okay, what are you most proud of? What is the tell me about the recent project that you are so proud of. And at that time, it needs a communication skill and it needs the ability to present. Okay, so if you don't have that, you are not going to get a job. Okay, let's say you got the job somehow, and then you started working as a data scientist. And sometimes you might be the only data scientist in that company, and you have to present your insights in front of CMO, CEO, CFO, and at that time, no matter how great you are with the coding, if you can't do a presentations, then you're going to fail. Okay, so remember, presentations and communication is super important to get into the data science or machine learning or data field. So you're probably wondering, well, if communication is a super important skill, how can I improve it, right? How can I get better at communicating or speaking like a data scientist? Here's what I did, and here's my recommendations or answer to your questions. Make YouTube video. Every time you complete any project, any data science project, a lot of people completely forget about commenting their code and making a presentation slide. Okay, so they just do a bunch of coding and they're done and they're out. So here's my suggestion and recommendations. Make a presentation, PowerPoint presentations for every project you complete, and then make a video of yourself presenting it and putting it out there in a YouTube channel. You can make it public or you can just keep it to yourself. And then re-watch that video and then make it again and make it again. So that's how I used to do when I was in grad school and when I was trying to get better at presenting my insights. Okay, so I used to make YouTube videos. I used to watch it myself, and then most of the time it's not great when you just do it a couple of times. Okay, so then you make it again, you watch it again, and make it again, and that's how you get better. So make YouTube videos and post it out there. Trust me, before you know it, you're gonna get great at presenting.